Alright, that brings us to the 2nd of June. What do you know? How do days work? I got woken up at 8, and then I ate breakfast and chilled a bit before we headed to a car show expo. Like I just said, we were looking at cars and desks. And it was so boring. Like, I've always hated cars. Like, it doesn't interest me. It's not my cup of tea. I even told my friend we went to the car expo, and she was like, "Oh, I'm jealous. I would have wanted to go." And I was like, cars do not interest me. They never have. My dad has always been like, "Oh, car." No, it's so boring. Like, I don't give a shit about like a Toyota or something. Like, it's a box. It's not cool. It's nothing. Like, legit. Even like a BMW, it's like, it's not nice. Like, it's a box. The only cars I respect are sports cars because like, they have nice curves and they have nice colors. So like, you can respect them. They are the definition of like hot. Like, they look like art kind of. Whereas the others are boxes. Like, no, fuck, it's not interesting. Really. So we went to this car expo to look at these cars, which is also, by the way, every single car there was a hot like model standing next to the car with a million people taking pictures of the girls, which like they would use like a zoom lens, so they're definitely only getting the girl. If the girl's here, the car's here. There's no way you're with a 200mm lens. You're not getting any car if you like no. So yeah, that's the only way to get people to even look the direction the car is in. You need like a hot girl because it's a fucking box. Like, it's not good. I think maybe I saw like 100 cars, and maybe like at most 5 of them were good looking. There was one that was like, I don't know colors. It was not green and it wasn't blue. You know the one in between, like teal? No, I don't know. There wasn't one like there was a couple nice cars, but other than that it was garbage. Like, really. So anyway, we're at this car expo. We looked at a bunch of cars. Ricky played in the cars. There was nothing to do. And like, Jesus Christ, it's just, I don't understand. I think when I was younger I used to do it with my dad too, and I used to hate it just as much. But yeah, if it's not a sports car, I don't care about it. That's basically it. No, there are some other cars, but it's really limited. Like, it's not that interesting. And then Ricky at one point talked to some very white people. I think they were Russians. They looked like they'd never been outside, and that's coming from... Actually, I'm super, like, tanned now. Someone also said that, I think in a comment or something. My host grandmother, like, who lives here, like, there was one morning... I don't think I wrote this down, so it's good I say it now. There was a morning where I was chilling, like, eating my breakfast, and then she's talking to the ayi, and then she's pointing at me and she's calling me black. And I don't speak Chinese, but I understand what she's saying because I speak context, you know? So she's calling me black, and I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, are you serious? And then I asked Ricky, like, what did she say? She's like, black. I'm like, yeah, what do you know? So yeah, I'm like super tan. I'm like black. Like, I'm never getting a Chinese girlfriend at this point because I'm like super black. So anyway, there were these really, really white Russians. They had to be like Russian. And Ricky talked to them, and he told them about his killer whale toy, and he just talked a bunch. And then his mum was so amazed that he was talking with foreigners. She asked me, she was like, he talked to them? He talked to them? Wow. And I'm like, yeah. Because to me it's not amazing, because I talked with him every day. And like, unless he says some crazy words, it's really not impressive to me. Because it's like, you can speak. Good. I would hope so. But yeah, she was very happy he could speak with the foreigners. And obviously it is good, because maybe 6 months ago he couldn't do that. Now he can tell them, like, this is a killer whale, it has 2 fins, and it's black and white, and it's cool. Like, I don't know, he can talk. Also, I saw the tallest girls I've ever seen, I think. I'm definitely lying, but it was really crazy. So models generally have to be really tall, right? So there were these models, and then they were wearing the highest high heels I've ever seen. So I was like, I don't know, that's my funny tidbit of information. Like, when you go to a car expo where literally nothing is interesting, you have to find something interesting, alright? So there you go. But yeah, and then eventually we headed to a Mercedes cafe and had lunch, and the lunch was like pretty good. And yeah, Ricky was naughty and obnoxious the whole day. That was so annoying. He was crying and screaming and so painful. Then in the cafe he wanted to sleep, but he didn't want me sitting next to him, so he was also having a cry. It was so painful. Oh, another funny story. The baby at one point was on the ground, and then the parents were walking away, and I told him, like, come. And he understands a lot, by the way. He speaks... No, he doesn't speak. He doesn't speak English or Chinese, but he understands a lot of what I talk about. You can tell. And, like, I told him, I was like, alright, we're leaving. Come, follow me. And then he doesn't react at all. He just looks at me like I'm stupid. I'm like, okay, bye-bye. And then I wave goodbye to him. And then he sits there. He's sitting on the ground. And his reaction to it is just... He just waves goodbye to me. And I'm like, okay, he does not care about us leaving him. He's not scared of being alone. So that was funny. And then he fell asleep eventually. And then I carried him when he was asleep. Which he's very cute, but he's also very heavy. Like, it's not fun to carry him for like an hour. Jesus. Yeah. And then we walked around and the parents talked to people about buying a car. I think they maybe bought a car, or they're very close to buying one, I'm not sure. But yeah. And it was super late when we got home. We got home at like 4 or 5. And then I went to my room for a little bit. And then we had dinner. And then we went swimming, which swimming is is good. I like swimming. And then after swimming, Ricky went to sleep. And then I edited some photos and sorted photos in the living room. And yeah, that was the Saturday on the 2nd of June. Which brings us to the 3rd of June. I woke up at 9 a.m. And I was told to take Ricky outside, but he didn't want to. So we sort of just mucked about inside and did like nothing interesting. And then the baby repeated the word car after I said it, which was like, I was kind of amazed. Because he can say very little Chinese words, like he knows like mum and dad. And also English, he's said car before and he said uncle, so he can say some stuff, I guess. And he understands a lot. Like, I told him, he wanted candy and he was like pointing and I was like, you want candy? And he's like, and there was another time he was climbing on something and I told him, oi, like, you want to see my phone? He's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, well, like, come over here and sit down. And then he did it. And I also told him, he was eating an orange and he dropped it on the ground and I told him, go throw it in the bin. And he did it. So, and he's only 1.5 years old, by the way, for those that don't know. So it's really cool that, like, he understands, like, a lot. Like, I think the amount that I think he understands, he probably understands, like, twice as much. Yeah. He definitely knows what's going on, both in English and Chinese. 12 o'clock, we had lunch, and after the lunch I grabbed drinks and Ricky went to sleep. I edited photos, sorted Japan photos. I'm trying to edit all the photos of my Japanese food, which, oh, that makes you hungry. It's fun. Great fun getting hungry. But no, Japanese food is so nice. Oh, I miss it. I just love food, really. Like, all food is good, but yeah, Japanese food is up there, to be honest. And then the eye spoke to me, and I didn't understand, which at this point it's not funny. I'm just so embarrassed by my Chinese level. Like, it's a fucking joke. And yeah. I don't know. Anyway, Ricky woke up at, like, quite late. It was like 5 o'clock. So that was kind of nice, because then I had more time to myself. And his dad mostly talked with him, so I just stayed in the background and existed, because, you know, I'm not going to interrupt. So then after dinner, we went swimming. It was just Ricky and I, this time not the parents, so they trust me in the water with him. He's not going to drown, apparently. And yeah, he wasn't naughty or obnoxious. It was actually really nice. Like, we had fun and we were just playing, so that's really nice. Only thing he does is sometimes he runs somewhere without telling me, which is kind of... I mean, he can swim, so he's not going to, like, randomly drown, but you never know. So I have to try to tell him, like, don't run away, tell me where you're going. Because I would dive underwater, and then I would come up, and then he'd be missing. I'm like, well, that's not good. So, yeah. We got home at 9, and Ricky went to bed, and I sorted photos again. Uploaded the weekly recap, and I talked to my dad a little, and went to bed at like 1 a.m., which was way too late. Because every time I always get busy with, like, photos. So, it's the same thing every time. It's productive, but getting like 5 hours of sleep every day is just not so good. But yeah, that was the 3rd of June. 4th of June, woke up at 7, took Ricky to school. He was crying because he always goes to bed too late. And like, I can't cry. Like, I went to bed at 1, I woke up at 7, not enough sleep. But I'm not, like, in theory, I'm an adult. So I don't get to like cry and be like, oh, I hate life. That's how I feel, but it's not how I act, you know? Well, But yeah, but he's crying because he always goes to bed too late. So, yeah. I went back to sleep after taking him to school. Oh, yes, yeah, I got like some sleep. I woke up at 11, and then I headed to meet my friend at Link City because we had to do the curved roof, which I don't know if I mentioned in the last video. Yes, in the last video. But there's a curved roof that I have to go to. And I've now failed going there 5 times because of different complications. And every time, I die a little bit inside. And one of the reasons I can't sleep at night is because I stay up thinking about this curved roof. Like, I have to have it. Once I set my mind on something, I have to have it. So this curved roof, I don't have it. After 5 attempts. So it's like, it's burning inside. Like, I'm really frustrated. And every time it's just the same like, oh, I don't know. One day I'm going to tell you guys I succeeded. I'm going to have a smile on my face. But right now, it's still like aching inside of me and pissing me off. So, there you go. Anyway, we got up to the, we got to the curved roof, and we got up, it was easy. There was a sleeping security guard, I think, that we just passed. And then the top level with both glass doors were locked. And that, apparently we found out afterwards, you're not supposed to go there, according to a guy on Instagram. So, maybe we should have passed the sleeping security guard, I don't know. But either way, we fucked it up, and that's like we've done it like 5 times and fucked it up every time. I think that was the first or second time, but yeah. We tried like 3 other roofs, and we didn't even make it to the elevator because of security, so that was a pain. Then I headed to the agency and chilled with 2 friends before heading home. I'm sorry I look at the screen, by the way, but I kind of have to. Am I in focus? Yeah, I got home and I didn't have time to go properly home, so I just had to wait at Ricky's school for 30 minutes where I chilled. After that, I picked him up, we went outside for 1 hour, and it ended with, ooh, I got so angry. Like, he never hits me. I've always told people, we only play fight. But then I told him I didn't want to run, and he hit me, and I was just like, the fuck are you doing? Don't ever, like, touch me. I swear to God, I will obliterate you. Like, Jesus Christ. Don't ever hit me. The worst part is, I should have hit him back, which... not, but you know, like not like a brother, because I am a brother, so I should have done that, but I didn't, and then it was too long afterwards. So you can't hit someone like 10 minutes later, you know. But like, if my sister had hit me, I would have hit her back, you know. That's how it works. But yeah, he hit me, and I got so angry. So I had him like sitting down, and then I just held him, and then he had to cry. But like when that happens, there's these random retards in the apartment complex that will come and be like, what's wrong? Why is he crying? And it's like, are you his parents? Like, fuck off. Like, mind your own business. I'm trying to discipline someone, and you're coming over acting like he's in, like it's okay and he has a problem and, oh, we need to look out for him. No, he's crying because he's in trouble. Like, Jesus Christ. These fucking randoms, I swear to God. But yeah, don't ever hit me, I swear. Like, that pissed me off so much. Like, because I'm not okay with that. And I made it very clear. But yeah, then we went home, had dinner. He did some Chinese learning, and then we went to the swimming pool. The parents watched, and I think they were happy because he was swimming and having fun, and we were just in this pool chilling. Oh, I'm so bad at diving. I think I already mentioned that, but like, I can't hold my breath underwater, and it upsets me so much. I swear, I get really angry when I can't do something. And I can only do like 40 seconds underwater, which... I need to go like to the sink like after this and practice. Like, I think if I practice every day, I could get up to a minute like very easily. Probably long, like a minute and a half. I don't know. Because I can't hold my breath underwater, and it's super frustrating. Okay, and here's another sad story. Like, fucking hell. So, I've always told you that I have 2 eyes, which an eye is a nanny, by the way. I have one that speaks only Chinese, and she's super cute and super funny, and like, she's funny, but I don't understand her, but she's cool, like 10 out of 10. Then I have another eye who speaks English, who's also a 10 out of 10. Always talk with her. She tells me about Chinese culture, tells me stuff, asks me weird questions, like 10 out of 10. And then after, when we were going swimming, she randomly told me, she's like, oh, by the way, I'm leaving and never coming back. And I was like, you spring that news on me now? What the fuck? Really? Like, crazy. She said she would go to her hometown and then like start work at a new family in Shenzhen. And it wasn't even because she was unhappy, it's just because she wanted change. And I was like, you could have waited like a month. Like, come on. So yeah, my quality of life goes down so much without her. Like, she was super nice and super helpful and super good to talk to. So that sucked. And then I told her like, oh, like after we come back from swimming, I like need some help. And then she was like, oh, I'll be gone by then. So she legit left like instantly. Basically, it was so sad. And yeah, so after swimming, I showered, chilled, and edited photos as usual. Spent way too much time somehow. Went to bed at 12, and then I slept at 2. Solid day. That's the standard 5 hours I've come to live with basically. I get 5 hours and it's like, okay, what are you going to do? Anyway, that brings us to the 5th of June. Woke up at 7, took Ricky to school, went to the agency for class, very chill. There's not much to say, we just talk and chill. Then I met my friend, and we went to Gongcha, which is a milk tea in China. Well, I don't know. It's a milk tea that's in Dongmen, but it's also everywhere else. It's a chain milk tea store. And then we got a free lime drink because she ordered something, so we got like a free lime drink. I don't know why. But it was garbage, so I wouldn't recommend it. And then we headed to a roof that we knew, like a circle one with a spire that we knew we could do. And this is another upsetting stuff. I feel like I'm just so upset today. Maybe it's because I'm tired today also, but like no, this is everything I'm reading is just like looking back on the week makes me depressed because it's just Monday, failure, Tuesday, failure, Wednesday, I was about to say Thursday, failure. Wednesday, failure. Like every day is just failure. Like if you fail every day, like it's hard life. Okay, so this is a sad story and I'm going to tell it. So we went to this building, got past, there was no security basically, it was like a business building. Got into the elevator, it took us to like 36 or something, then we needed to take, no, we couldn't press the buttons in the elevator. You needed a card, so we had to get off when someone else got off. Got off at like 40, and that was too high, so then we needed to go down. Eventually we made it to like 38, then you needed to take a new elevator to 44. And then from there, you needed to take a new elevator, which we did like inside the fire exit door, that went to like 50, and then from 50 you could go to 56 or some. We took at least 3 different elevators. It could have been 4, and all of the hall, because we were doing it inside fire exits most of the time, like the fire walk, like staircases or whatever, fire exits. And it was so confusing, and I don't understand what we were doing. It was so confusing. And we eventually made it up to like a carpet place that like a pretty high up. Not the roof, but like top, like pretty high. It was 56, so it was high. And then there was someone in there, I think, cleaning. So we were like, okay, we can't go in there, obviously. So, and it was also raining so much, so even if we had gotten up, we couldn't have gone on the roof. It was raining. There was a literal typhoon. So we shouldn't even have tried. Because before we went onto the roof, it wasn't raining, so we're like, we'll go on the roof. It's not very good for photos today, but we'll just see if we can, and then we'll come back. Anyway, we tried to go down, and this is the biggest regret of my life, I think. Because I don't have very many regrets. I do a lot of stupid stuff, but not something super stupid, only small stupid things. But this has got to be the biggest regret of my life. It's so stupid, and I don't know how we can be so stupid. So I told you guys last week that we took a fire exit elevator down, and then it was locked, and then the security guard let us out and smiled and was nice. That should have been a clear message. Don't ever take fire exit elevators because you don't know where you end up. Anyway, we see this fire exit elevator that goes from 56 to 50, and we're like, okay, let's just take it. Fuck it, dude. We just need to get down. So instead of going down the way we came up, we took this random fire exit elevator. And when the elevator door opened on 50, imagine there's a restaurant hallway, and on this side there's 2 elevators. On this side there's 2 elevators. And both of these are for getting to the restaurant. Now imagine there's a 3rd elevator here. I guess a 5th, but there's a 3rd elevator on this side of the door. that is a fire exit elevator that no one ever uses and is not supposed to use. And in front of the fire exit elevator door, there is a ribbon because no one ever uses it. So there's just a nice ribbon to decorate. Now, guess which elevator of the 5 that we came out of? Ding, 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 the fucking stupid one. So we come out of this fire exit elevator that's literally blocked off, and then a lady sees us, and she's like quite angry and like distressed. She's like, the fuck? Like, she asks, she repeats, she says, did you go to 56? Which, I mean, she can see we went to 56. And like, why else would we be in the elevator? And then I never lie, so I didn't say no. I just sort of said, can we please go to 1? We want to go down. We want to go down. And she's like, did you go to 56? And I'm like, 1, go down. Just like playing stupid. So then we climb this ribbon, and then we take the elevator down from 50 to 1. And then when it opens, we get greeted by a security guard, and I'm like, fuck. And then he says, hey, please don't go up there, it's dangerous. And that was when my world came tumbling down. Because now, we can't go back. It was one of the best roofs. And we can't go back there because we're 2 white, like, foreigners. He will recognize us 100%. And then, if we go back for round 2 and get caught, I feel like we'll get in trouble. Like, that looks really bad. Like, first is a warning, second time is trouble, right? So we basically fucked up getting on one of the best roofs in Shenzhen because we were stupid and took a fire exit elevator. If we hadn't taken that, if we'd just gone the same way down, no one would have known. It would have been between us. But we're stupid. It's the biggest regret of my life right there. That still upsets me so much. It's like every day, I think about it like every now and, you know, like those embarrassing moments you have in high school that like haunt you for the rest of your life, and every now and then when you're laying in bed and can't sleep, you just think, oh, I did this, fuck. That's how I feel. If I'm suddenly feeling good about myself, I'll just think, you're an idiot, you fucked up one of the best roofs, and then, like, really, like, I'm never gonna give it up. Like, 10 years from now, I'll still be upset. And I think my friend feels the same way. She was also very upset. And she's also, like, we keep mentioning it as, like, our biggest mistake. I don't understand why we did it, really. Like, 2 people, and both of them are so stupid. Like, how can I be so dumb? So, yeah, that's my biggest regret in life. There you go. Make that into a video. Anyway, I got home at 3. Sat in the living room, because the Wi-Fi in my room still doesn't work. I don't know that it ever will. Picked up Ricky at 6, then we had dinner. After dinner, nothing interesting happened. There was a little bit of reading, and Ricky playing on like a learning tablet thingy. Then I took my PC to the living room, and I edited some Japan photos, and went to bed way too late as usual. And that was the 5th of June, one of the biggest failures of my life. Maybe I should just remember that date. Like, I think 4th of July is like a freedom date for like Americans, right? Maybe 5th, oh, that's July. This is June, never mind. But like, biggest failure of my life. Like, really? I don't know. I'm so upset. Still. Like, it really does hurt. Alright, 6th of June. I woke up at 7. I took Ricky to school, and then I headed to the agency for an activity. Which, yeah, we were making Chinese Beijing opera masks, which I have mine right here, so I can actually show you it. Isn't that cool? Wow. So, I made... Oh, it's gonna break. Oh. Okay, I made this. Whoa, this is the thumbnail. Look how pretty I look. Am I more attractive than usual? Fuck! Okay, I said it was gonna break and it did. My bad. Fucking hell. Alright, anywho. We made opera masks, so it was basically like 2 hours of just listening to music and everyone concentrating on like painting. Which at one point they wanted to listen to my music, which I don't know how other people feel about music. I don't like sharing my music because I feel like I will be judged. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but it's like, I have 1,200 songs in my playlist, and some of them are like, you know, really girly, like, you can have Katy Perry or Taylor Swift or something, and then some of it is like really ghetto rap. Like, I have a Trick Daddy song that's like not so nice, and then I have some other, like, I have grime as well, mixed in there. I have a lot of like weird rap, and then I have some like just songs in different, like, I have a lot of different music, okay? And I don't like the fact that I can have 1,200 songs, and let's say that I put on my music and we listen to 12 of my songs, which is a lot, right? that's only 1%. So someone might hear like 10 of my songs and then judge and be like, Emil listens to bad music, or he listens to like weird girly music, or he listens to bad rap music, or like whatever judgment they might make. And it's kind of like, you heard less than 1%, you know? Like, really. So I don't know, I don't like sharing music, really. I feel awkward about it, because it's weird. Anywho, after class, my friend and I headed to Coco, and then we went to McDonald's for a burger, which was good, I guess. And then we had ambitions of doing a roof, but it was raining too much, because like I said, there was a typhoon. So, there was a typhoon, like, for 3 days, I guess. Ricky was home from school sick, so I tried coming home as late as possible. I got home at 4, and then I went to my room for a bit, which I don't think anyone cares about. And then we had dinner, and then afterwards we played a bit with, like, dinosaurs and just fucked around and did nothing special. And then I read books for him and put him to sleep, and then I sat in the living room and talked to my friends and looked at photos. So, that was the 6th of June. Now, we have the 7th of June, which is my free day, which means that it's the day I do the most stuff, right? I woke up at 8 a.m. because, it was my free day. It was raining and foggy like crazy, but, like, I'm only here for a month more. I don't have time to waste, like, also, I'm really determined. Like, if I want something, if I want a roof, I'm gonna get it. Like, the rain can't stop, nothing, like, it has to actually be raining before I stop. If it's like shit weather and it was raining, then it was raining. I can still do it, you know? It's going to take a lot to stop me. So anyway, we go and meet at Dongmen area. And yeah, we met at like 10. And then we meet up at the swimming pool, which I talked about in last week's video. And we did it. We smashed it. The lighting was better because of the rain. Because last time I went it was sunny and there was a bad shadow and it was kind of eh. This time, because of the rain, it was like darker, and then the light from between the two apartments, I can't explain it. It's on my Instagram if you want to see it. The light like looked cool and it was good. So we went to the swimming pool, climbed a fence, got the photo. There was like an ayi with a baby. So we had to sit like awkwardly for 15 minutes and wait for her to leave. But other than that, it was very smooth. We got into the apartment complex easy. Everything was easy. Afterwards, we headed to Haiti to get the luxury bubble tea that tastes really, really good. Highly recommend. It's 19 compared to like 13, but it's like, and it's smaller, but it's better. So it has warm tapioca bubbles. And then yeah, after bubble tea, we tried 3 different roofs and we failed all of them, which was so painful. Like, some of them we got to the top and then the door was just locked and it's like, well, fuck me, you know? Then eventually we went through some really there was also one where we went to an apartment complex and then the guy starts asking us who we're there to visit. And then we stood there awkwardly speaking English to each other, trying to make a plan. And then he's just like, what the fuck? And then we eventually gave up. But yeah. Eventually, there was a big building with a fire exit on the like ground floor that was open where workers go through. And we just managed to go in there, and then we went to the 32nd floor. And at first it looked pretty shitty, but we realized that you could climb onto these pillars and then get up and then get the shots. So we did that. We're kind of scared at first, but because it was so wet and rainy, but that wasn't dangerous. It was just annoying and wet, you know? And yeah, then my friend made the legendary quote that I want to mention. We were talking about the circle roof that we failed, the one with the spire, the one I was so upset about. And my friend said, maybe the guy was just giving us advice, not forbidding us, because the guy told us it was dangerous and not to go up there. So according to her, maybe the guy was just giving us advice. He didn't actually forbid us to go there, but I don't think so. Anyway, we climbed these like pillars. I don't know how to explain it. It's like you go on the roof, then you go higher up, and then you can walk on these pillars. Like, we climbed them, and then it was so wet and so gross. It wasn't really slippery, I guess, but I guess it is more dangerous if it's wet, but like, have to do it. Anyway, we look at each other and we're like, let's not do it, it's too wet. Like, let's not do it. Then we save the location on our map so we have it for next time when the weather is better. And then we look at each other and I don't know, like this, I go rooftopping with the same friend every time. Like it's always me and her. And we look at each other and we have the same thought process, which is basically, it's a shame to leave. We can't leave. We're up here now. So we look at each other and then I think she said, the clouds sure look nice. And I was like, yeah. And then it's like looking at each other and being like, all right, let's go. So we climb up on this thing and it was so wet and it was really dirty. And then because it was wet, if you touch the water, your hands got like all black and dirty because the water was all dirty. Like, it was so disgusting. So basically got soaked pants, soaked underwear, and my shoes were also soaked. So basically everything was fucked. But, you know, you have to get the photo, don't you? So yeah, we start getting our shots. And then some man is on a balcony downstairs in like a garden. And we're just like, fuck, we're going to get caught. And then he looks up at us. And like, I was like, let's be quiet. And then within 2 seconds he looks at us and we're just like, fuck. And then yeah, he looks up. And then we sort of just mimic like, we have a camera, we're taking photos. And he's like, he doesn't look angry and he's young and he's not a security guard or a like cleaning lady. Then he comes up and he's like asking to see the photos. And we're like, okay, it's probably good. And we just like very little talk with him. Like with him very little, but he seems okay. So then we like basically explain to him, we'll come over and show you the photos, but we're not done. And then we get back to taking photos. And then while we are doing our thing, he comes back again with a huge camera. At that point, I'm like, oh, nice. He just wants to play. Like, fucking A. And yeah, then he takes photos of us, which is really cool, because we don't have any photos together, you know? It's always one of us taking photos of the other. So the fact that he was there taking photos of us was really cool. And then I learnt that he was a professional photographer. So not only did he take photos of us, but the photos he took were really fucking good, given, like, the circumstances. So, yeah, they didn't kick us off, they just took photos of us and with us and stuff. But he didn't want to climb the stuff, because I guess he's sensible, but yeah. And, yeah, we finished up, came down and talked to the guy, showed him my photos. It was so embarrassing. He's like, oh, what camera you have? And I'm just like, a garbage one. Because he had a professional camera, you could tell. Then we go downstairs, and apparently they had a wedding photography business. So that's why they were so interested. So they were professional wedding photographers, which was really cool. So yeah, we're inside their business and they give us cold water, which is a big, cool, like, big for China. And then he starts editing our photos instantly, which I was like, okay. And he did crazy editing. I've never seen anyone do anything like this. He basically played his keyboard like it was a piano, and all with keybinds. So he's in Photoshop, and his hand does this, whoop, whoop, and then on the way, doing this, he would maybe press 4 different keybinds. So he'd go, and he would hit all the keybinds, and he was doing like crazy editing. He obviously did the color contrast, all that, and then he also made us like skinnier. Like he would take our back and then stretch it like back. And some of the photos he didn't like the side of the background, like the building, so he would take that out. And he was really good at editing and so fast. He edited maybe like 11 photos for us. Actually maybe like 15, but he gave us 11. And they were really well done, and he did it so fast. I've never seen anyone edit like that. And also he did a lot of editing. It wasn't just like small retouching. He stretched our back. He did like a lot of stuff. It was crazy retouching, making us like skinnier, changing the skin a little bit. Like he was crazy. And his key binding, I don't know, I was amazed. But he spent 30 minutes on these photos, which was super nice of him. And his friend was also super nice. He got so excited when he heard I was from Denmark. He was like, oh, Denmark! And I was like, yes, I agree. But yeah, we left them, and then we headed for more roofs. We failed 2 more. The financial building and an apartment complex. No, this was a different apartment complex. It was just locked. No, it wasn't locked. We got to the roof, but there was nothing up there to go to. Then we headed to Fujian for a sunset roof, which... No, we tried the curved roof again, the one that failed 5 times. And we failed it again, because there was a worker inside, so we couldn't go in. Then we got out, and it started raining like crazy, so we couldn't do anything. Then we met our teacher for barbecue, and that was good. I had an interesting drink that was like pretty good. Then it had some chicken that was like okay. some good fried potatoes, and then the beef I had at the end was the best. And then also ate hot wings with like chopsticks, which doesn't work. They were like laughing at me, and I'm like, I'm not wrong here. Like, I don't care. I'm not wrong. You don't eat hot wings with chopsticks, because there's bone on both sides and the meat in the middle. You literally can't get it out. You have the chopstick and you're like, and it doesn't work. But yeah. And then my friend, she made me eat. I don't know what anything is called. It could have been clams. No, it could have been oyster. I don't know. It was something from underwater, and it was like a shellfish. I don't know what it was, but she was like, eat this, and I'm like, fucking hell, I guess. And it was pretty good. I thought it was going to be a 3 out of 10, but it was like a 6 out of 10, so it was pretty good. And then my teacher wanted to go to the Chicken Meow roof, which I'd already been to, but the weather was shit, so I was really, really tired, so it was like, I'm tired, the weather's shit, like, fuck. But we went, and then it was way too late also, so the lights were off. And then I got home with the last metro you could take at 12, and then I showered, and my feet hurt so much from all the walking and the stairs, and also being wet all day, so it like fucked like my leg, and And then I chilled out and went to bed at 1, so yeah, good times. But yeah, that was my 40th week in China. An eventful one, mostly just failure, but you have to fail to, like, do good, I guess. No one who's good at anything has, like, done it without failing, right? Maybe. Just have to keep failing and eventually succeed or something. I don't even know. It's so frustrating when you fail, like, day after day after day after day. Like, really. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, I'm sorry these videos are shit and, like, I'm bad at putting them out on time and everything is just going wrong. It's just because I have other priorities, as you can hear. I enjoy failing, so I keep doing it. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Peace.